Hello everybody, I hope you're doing well, enjoying the holidays. If you're anywhere like me, you're probably getting some snow, so enjoy that. We're talking 572s today. These are two very different builds. They are similar in some ways, different in others. And I wanted to see, I just went back into both of them to do some intake work, to make some changes, and sort of see where the gains were. And what this has ended up being is a very interesting test, in my mind, about the difference between stuffed versus non-stuffed, and then also build theory. So this one's mine. I bought it. It had been rebuilt. The rebuilder did not put the stuffers back in it. After this test, I'm kind of wishing they had, but they didn't. Their theory is that allows you to get more oil to the bearings, but run 32 to 1 and a good oil and you're set. So it's a conventional band cut, largely stock numbers, although less blowdown, and then some intake work, particularly to the wet port duration. But otherwise, stock built, stock everything else. There's no trickery going on with the auto tune or anything like that. It's a filter saw. Does have a deflector style cam. It's gutted, but it's a deflector on top. If we shimmy to this saw, this is a stock bottom end. I rebuilt it with new crank bearings and things for Frank, and it's got the stuffers in it, but it's got a 40 thousandths band cut. Absolutely zero grinding anywhere, except for maybe the lowers. I don't remember if I did the lowers or not. I'd have to check my book. But 40 thousandths pop up. I did the same piston intake work on this one as I did on this one yesterday. So, and it's also got the pipe outlet instead of the deflector style. That's a lot less work. Don't have to do any gutting. Lots of gutting, no gutting. Lots of gutting, no gutting. So the primary differences here is how we achieved the port numbers, because they are similar. They're strikingly similar. The primary differences are stuffed versus no stuffed, and then outlet. And then do you achieve your port numbers through machine work or through grinding? So ran these both against my 365 special. They made 7.6 on Joe's dyno. A ported 572 should be in the 7.6 to 8 range. I mean, for a 70cc saw, that's a good spot to be at. I know there have been some higher. I know there have been some lower. 7.5 to 8 is a good spot for one of these saws to be at, in my mind. So I ran them all. Same bar and chain, 12, 13-inch white oak round. You'll see that here in a second. And I'll put the individual time runs up with that. But the averages. This one's runs averaged out to 13.19 seconds per cut. That one averaged out to 10.42. So that's 21% difference there. And then my 365 special was a 10.43. So 1/100th of a second slower than Frank's saw. So this is making about 7.5. This one's definitely not making about 7.5. Don't know what it's making, but it ain't 7.5. All right. I talked to Joe the other day, and in fact, if you watch his video, he had a video up recently talking about big bore kits and things like that. So 21% difference, if I remember correctly. I might be wrong. I usually am. Stuffers are good for about 20% in these things. So anybody want to buy a 572?